When I came to Asia, one of the first places I went to was migme to go visit Angkor Wat, which happens to be one of the 7 man-made wonders of the world. This was one of my first trips, and it was just amazing to come to this ancient civilization where they were able to create such beautiful, I guess, architecture at that time, way ahead of their time, here out in Asia. So in that way, it was just mind-blowing to see it preserved the way it was in Cambodia, which is well known for its, I think, state-of-the-art architecture, but to have something of this splendor or beauty still retain its natural, I think, essence was in itself just worth the entire trip. A few years back, I went on this road trip for actually a car company to do a big, I guess, sustainability campaign. I had the privilege of going to Australia to go on a drive from Sydney to Canberra to Melbourne and all the way down to Tasmania. Along the way, I mean, we've all driven cars, and coming from the States, I'm used to doing a lot of car and road drives. But this one was really exciting because it was my first time to go visit the 12 Apostles on Great Ocean Road. It was a very scenic drive, and to see just natural wonders, I think. Just to see 12 rock formations that actually do look like 12 apostles. It was nice to take a stop, after a long drive, soak in, I think, nature, along, the cool breeze, the waves splashing against the rocks, and to see these rock formations really pop up and look like 12 different apostles. So that in itself was very exciting, just for the break, but also to see, Mother Nature in its splendor and glory too. Tai'an, that was a really exciting place. I think one of the privileges I have for my work is I get to host these shows that allow me to travel. For this one, I was hosting the Amazing Race China Rush, and so I've been to about 40 or 50 different cities in China that I normally probably wouldn't get a chance to venture into. And a lot of times you might find a hidden gem like Tai'an, which is right by Taishan, and it's just a very scenic area, off the beaten path. It's a little bit more backwards, a smaller village in China, and they had a lot of locks. They have a temple, I think a Buddhist temple, right at the top of one of the peaks. So you could kind of see it, and I wanted to make the jump in that picture too, but it was a little bit too far. But it was just nice to kind of get up there and just really be able to get away from technology, from society, and just really absorb, I think, China. And it has a lot of very natural, scenic locations too. But this one was very exciting because it was my first time there. I never would have gone in the first place, and then it's always a really big surprise when you don't have that much expectation. So I really enjoyed Tai'an for work, but also became pleasure too. Yeah, India is always one of my favorite places to visit. It's always a visual, a sensory, I think, overload. No matter where you go, you're going to be able to capture something that can be shared or be, I think, cherished or experienced. Whether you're in a big city, there's always the hustle and the bustle. There's always so many sights, so many colors, so many sounds. And on this one, I also had the privilege of driving for another, project from Delhi to Mumbai through 4 states. I drove through floods. I was driving next to elephants. And then we, fall upon this city called Udaipur, which is actually known as the White City. It's a beautiful, pristine, I think smaller, Indian city. And what you see in that picture is actually a hotel that's, I think perched or just sitting right in the middle of this lake. So it was like out of a painting, to see the sunset and to see this white hotel in Udaipur, which is the White City. It was a nice break, from the craziness that you normally experience when you're in a large city in India. Cape Town it was my first time to Africa, going to Cape Town. It was actually for the Amazing Race Asia. So I think, again, when you're doing the race, I have a lot of opportunities to go to places I probably normally wouldn't go in the same amount of time. Going to, let's say, 15 different countries in a span of, let's say, a couple of weeks. For this one, I really liked it. It was my first time to Africa. Got to go on the safari. There we were, I think, perched on top. We could oversee the entire, there was Tabletop Mountain that we were at. We could see the entire, I think picturesque sea view of South Africa, of Cape Town right there. It's a very extreme city. They have a lot of extreme sports, very outdoorsy. It's great they all speak English. I enjoyed the weather, enjoyed just, I think, the clean air, and seeing a lot of animals that I'm used to seeing in captivity in zoos. So that was exciting to actually see them roam free in their natural habitat there back in Cape Town. It's always such a joy and a privilege to be able to travel to these really exciting places where you don't really have any expectations because you don't know what to expect, but when you're there, you're like, wow, I am really blessed to have this chance to travel to all these, I think, remote, exotic, I think off the beaten path type of venues to go to.